do you think you're going? Sweet as, I should get heaps of these. Yeah.
Prepare for battle!
Hop, skip, and a blink. Uh-huh. Always a step ahead. I'm on it. I'm done with talking. I'm not ready! Come on! I'll lead the way. No, that one. Ugh. Ready? Sure. Why? How? I'm keen. Yes! Can't pick a line.
Bruce Splatter, thanks and have fun.
First blood and just a crazy amount of this. Always wanted to go this way. Yeah, never easy, eh? I can take the kick, can you? Oh, did that clip you? Hardly see nothing down here. Better than goats. Bang on! I'll suss it. Wicked. Yeah.
Your middle top!
Say hello to my little friend. Throw down your gold. I might let you live.
They are on a timer, I agree. We should timber here for sure.
We are moments away from getting these group stages of the International 10 underway. We know you can't wait. We can't wait either. I know a lot of you have joined us during the break, so we're gonna quickly let you know what's going on this stream. You might have noticed that there is 5 streams live with the International at the moment. And you joined us for the right one. You're at the right place. Please stay. Well, no, you don't have to if you don't want to, because there's so much content. There are going to be 5 series on each of the streams. Every series is 2 games. Then there's 4 streams. Yes, 40 games will be played today in the group stage, and we'll have those 40 games again tomorrow, and then the day afterwards as well. And the group stages will end the day after that. A lot of games to go through, and on this stream, this is the multicast, so we'll keep you up to date of all the different games. We'll jump around from game to game, whichever game we think is the most exciting to watch, the most interesting to see how the teams are performing, or maybe there's some goofiness going on that we want to check out. We have the luxury of choice here, and we'll of course also keep you up to date with all the scores of all the streams that are, as they are coming in. So that's the multicast. There are the other streams that are very, like, a lot of games. Every game, every stream has their own caster pair as well, where you might want to tune in as well, because on this stream, it's going to be us. And when I say us, it's not just me, it's also Tsunami, Jenkins, Insania. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Today's schedule, Tsunami.
EG versus Aster will be the first game that we tune into on the multicast. And if we should reiterate yet again, Aster is going to be playing with a stand-in.
Yes.
They had health issues due to COVID, and so White Album will be replaced by 86, which was a little bit surprising because Burning owns Aster.
He's here.
And he's here, and he specifically did not want to play.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
He's an owner now. I mean, I feel like, you know.
I don't think that Loda would stand in also for Alliance if he needed to.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they were players, but still. And then Stream B, IG versus T1 is going to be the lead-off for that. And Jenkins, I know you're hot on T1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hot on both of these teams. IG, insane players. They all, Emo in particular, infamous question mark. They play around him a lot.
Huge thing.
It's for life, though.
Right, it really is. You can never fully get away from it. Try as you might. But the thing about it really is that, like, you end up with a lot of similar types of heroes, it feels like, where you're like, okay, I'm going to exploit this laning matchup. I think the lane is going to go this particular way. Or I'm going to counter be like, you know, for instance, a Storm Spirit or a Zeus against a Tinker. And it's most like simplistic form where you're picking this hero that's like a counter for them throughout the whole game. But we're going to have to wait and see indeed what happens. Second pick is going to be going the way of OG, but we have a draft now, which we can get into. So I'm sorry that you no longer get to look at us.
Yes, I know.
Finally, we're going to have to watch some Dota.
Yes.
So we will be able to get into that now.
It was about even, though, to be fair, right? I mean, you know, you got about an hour of us.
Exactly.
And now you'll get, hopefully, about an hour of a game. I could go for an hour long with draft. You know, that's a pretty good length of a game, I would say.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I would be absolutely down for that. And I think that that's something that's going to be interesting to watch, too, is what happens with game lengths, because you end up with situations where, like, maybe a certain strategy, you end up with, like, you know, a Chen or a Lycan or something like that that can start pushing down towers really quickly. And, whoa, look at that. Right out of the bat, we've got ourselves a Chen band as well as a Tiny. That's my pick for most banned hero in the entire tournament.
What did I tell you they do with Chen? What did I say?
Yeah.
I said they banned it first.
That's what they do.
And here we are. It's happened already. Oh, the most banned starts, guys. It's already solid. Monkey King and Tiny.
Well, we're going to have to see indeed what happens here as they're spamming out some voice lines as well. Monkey King, I'm surprised that one's banned, I guess. You're talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, I think coming into the tournament, there's this idea of, like, you know, the Monkey King, Tiny, they're going to be the 2 big heroes. I feel like we had this discussion last night of who we thought would be the most banned and the most picked between Tiny and Monkey King. I think you went Monkey King and I went Tiny. So we're going to have to be paying attention here to see who's going to be the most banned.
Absolutely. And IO banned out, so we were talking about that one as well. That means Dawnbreakers potentially... Are we going to see it?
That was banned by OG as well, which I think is kind of surprising. So Alliance have first pick, but OG have the 2-3. So this is why I personally like second pick so much, and why it's going to matter a lot in this TI is because now it feels like you get 2 opportunities at the end of the game to counterpick. It feels amazing, right? You just get to look, counterpick as the last 2 picks in the end, and a hero who has been shot off to the side for so long, Earthshaker, this whole DPC, pretty much 2 seasons. Oh, speaking of which, now we have 2 heroes that everyone says, around TI time, though, they're going to come back. Rubik and Earthshaker getting substantial buffs in the more recent patches, and also just absolute placeholder heroes at TI. These guys, they want an Aegis,
It really is true. Like, there's just something about TI time when you pick these giant AoE heroes that, like, can completely turn around a game. They punish mistakes is what it's really about, it feels like.
Just give me Shadow Fiend and I have, like, my 4 favorite heroes to watch right now.
Right,
like,
literally.
seriously. This is amazing.
All right. So against the Tidehunter, you're thinking about Disruptor potentially. You're thinking about these heroes that can mitigate the presence of a Tidehunter. But at the same time, this hero's kind of inhabited different roles. Like I remember leading up to this, we were watching some of the pub games and we saw like a Satanic Tidehunter. These others like very strange combinations. We'll see how it ends up going if OG decide to run for sort of like a more group up and fight around this Tide, or if they want to like how they want to play it. Whoa, hello, Queen of Pain.
Okay, so this comes back to the discussion of second pick, I would say, because this idea of like your last 2 picks are both getting counterpicked as Alliance, right? So you have to pick, they get to pick, you have to pick again, OG get to pick. And so taking your mid and taking a stronger mid hero, at least potential for mid, because Queen of Pain definitely has some flex right now, I think is better when your first pick.
Where do you see the potential for flex for Queen of Pain?
I think it could be a position 4, position 5, or a mid. Maybe even position 3. I think she has a lot of places she can go right now. I would say she is best and mid, and probably 4. So it's more likely going to be a mid in this case. But I think she can go like pretty much all the roles but 1 right now.
You don't think 1 would work? I remember back in the day, it was like the old like AC builds that you would get.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I mean anything can work.
That's true.
As someone once said.
That's true. I think it's going to be really interesting because, like you said, that you have multiple different bans that you can now take out of the pool to take co-op's really bad matchups out of there. And look at this OG taking a really long time with this next round of bans. What are they thinking right now? What do you think is going through their heads that's making them so concerned about the heroes they have to ban out in this second phase? Like, are you thinking about banning out? I don't know. Snapfire. That's not what I was expecting. That's really weird. That's such a weird pick or decision to ban.
Yeah, I mean, good hero for sure. It has some flex in terms of the roles we kind of discussed in our earlier podcast here. Right? We still like the hero. She's definitely been nerfed since she's been introduced, and feels like she's getting weaker and weaker. She has like certain counter picks that I guess is where I would probably start thinking is the heroes like Phoenix specifically, but I don't think you would just ban Snap right that if you like that. That just says, hey, we'd love a Phoenix to me. Maybe like an Undying 2 could be a potential 5.
I would feel like Alliance would want to take out a Puck here on the last round of bans also. That one of those traditionals really devastating answers for Queen of Pain in the mid lane. I mean, granted, you can go for a different build or you can go for the Screams instead of the daggers. But it's interesting, right? Because in a way, it feels like we're not really thinking about the lanes that much right now for Alliance. So like, these are the heroes that we want, and we're going to just put them wherever is going to suit them best.
Well, what's important about that is that they've already sort of saved 2 lanes, because they're taking the Queen of Pain, who, with the addition to now gaining health when she uses her dagger, has made her a better laner overall. And she was already a fairly strong hero. Even in like her worst shape, she's a pretty good laner. So you've got that to help safe hold the mid lane, other than like the really bad counter picks, like you mentioned, like maybe a Viper or a Puck or something. And then you have Earthshaker, who also can just like hold back the wave by fishing, which can save a lot of different offlane heroes too. But position 3 Earthshaker is also gaining a ton of steam right now. So this could also be a core shaker.
I mean, the thing about it though is that like we're talking all this stuff that's cool about the Alliance draft. It is weird. And from OG, you have like a very just stout combination. You have a Tidehunter. This is a hero that you want in these types of like big meaningful games that can just sort of either stay strong in a lane or be that thing that turns around a fight, and he's so versatile. And then of course Rubik is just a very nice answer to Earthshaker at any time, and being able to steal Fissure. It's good stuff.
Death Prophet, another hero that's gotten some bans and a little bit of tweaks lately. Wasn't seen a lot this year, so you need a little bit of love. But one of the poster heroes in terms of some of these fresh new Immortals, which you guys can get just by watching on Twitch.
Nice.
It's Legion. I think hers is my favorite. It looks really good.
I haven't
with
seen
the gold.
It yet. I've
Lots
not
of
been paying
quality.
attention. Huh. Legion Commander. I mean, this hero is kind of interesting. I mean, you got the big buff that happened with the level 10 talent where you get the 250 range. Obviously, hard to spell is really nice. A very strong laner, but in a way kind of overlaps with the Tidehunter in terms of where the most normal position is that we see from them.
It is kind of cool because, like, if the queen goes, like, say, Orchid or something, then there's now pressure for you to go onto the Legion, right? Or else she's just going to debuff them. You have the potential for this to be a support Legion or a core Legion, much like the Tide. Could be support Tide or core Tide. So, really the only... I guess Rubik's not even technically locked in, right? This could be like a 4 or a 5 Rubik, theoretically.
Yeah.
So...
Undyne gets taken now from Alliance, and immediately afterwards into a Morphlane. Okay, very interesting. Obviously, Undyne position 3 was a big thing, but now with the Morphlane, you would kind of imagine that this is going to be a 5 Undyne with a Morph in position 1. And this draft starts to feel like it's taking a little bit more shape now.
What's really good about what they just did there, too, is that that double pick quick in a row.
Right, of course.
And
all right.
Ancient Apparition. So this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Second pick. All right.
So we are going to real quickly come on back to us for just a moment here.
Yeah.
As we are getting ready to go into this game, but just making sure that all the audio is absolutely perfect and there's no issues at all going on for you fine folks out there. And just like that, like it's the magic of production, our wonderful people here that are taking care of business. We're going to head on back into the game now.
Perfect. And you didn't miss anything except a Sven ban. It just happened, like right there. Okay, so, yeah. So this is why I love second pick. They pick Morph, you pick AA. And then just snap pick, right from OG. They're putting the pressure back on Alliance now. And what was good, OG spent a lot of that time deciding on that, like, snap ban. But they clearly decided, like, all 3 bans they wanted there. Or at least some concept of ideas. Because then they went through the other bans pretty fast. Right. And then now they have a lot of time for now their final 10th pick, which is, even in the old days of 10th pick, you always want a lot of time there, of course, to discuss all your flexibility and everything. So I'm definitely liking what they have. Alliance, Morphling, combos. We got the Shaker, number 1. The other big one, the Dark Willow, of course.
Yep. I wonder if you even need to do that. It feels like there's some value that gets lost when you're picking a Willow and you already have a Shaker, because like you can't morph into both of them, right?
No, I would agree. Just, you know. It is pretty nasty.
So to be honest, like I really like the idea of just sort of putting this game into Nico's baby's hands in a lot of way with having that Morph Shaker. But then of course you've got the like really strong answer from OG now with like having Legion and AA and then also potentially Tidehunter. Like there's a lot of ways to catch this Morph. I wonder if you're even going to need to go for a Lincoln's build. Like sometimes that starts to feel a little bit like meh as a Morph nowadays. You love to be able to play more greedy, but you might need to in this matchup.
Morph's got a lot of items that you want now, too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we get Falcon Blades popping off, you know? You never know who you want to throw that thing on. Okay, maybe not Morphling. It's on stats, but, you know, every other carry, you can buy Falcon Blade. Or maybe 1, maybe 2. And that could be an idea here, right? Theoretically, they could even go back, grab a carry, and put this in the mid lane, even for lane. But if they feel like some teams would maybe feel like this Morphling is going to have such a rough time that maybe wants to be more of like an active hero rather than the anchor of the team, that like, in the end, this is the person who's supposed to like knock down and win this game. That can be a bit scary when you're playing against Legion, Ravage, and Ancient Apparition as a Morphling.
That's true, and so much disable, and then just that ability that will kill you. And right now for Alliance, no other save that really exists. That Shadow Demon ban, I think, really important. And now they take Alina too. Dude, 2 of these heroes very fragile.
You mean all 3 of their cores potentially too?
Yeah.
Well, that was okay. They had a minute left, and they just took back links. And that's a Tops and Tidehunter.
Okay.
Let's go. We got some Dota too. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Hanskin playing the Queen of Pain now as well. It's looking spicy, to borrow from an absolute legend there. I am super stoked for this game.
Wow. Okay, so instant Sumail Clinks. Clinks, not a hero that I saw popping up on a lot of hero predictions, I wouldn't say.
Previous patch, though, right beforehand, he was all over the place.
You know, I was watching quite a few Sumail games, actually, over the past while. He just kept spamming techies. So I think that, you know, he's really throwing everyone off the trail. He played one Clinks game recently that I can see.
Okay.
So he's mostly been scrimming, that's for sure. I'll let you know, he did lose, but he lost against Thompson. Therefore, it cancels out.
True.
Because someone on OG won. No, he was most of he's playing Dragon Knight. So we're all over the place right now.
Well, there's a similar hero. Well,
yeah.
Not really.
Limp Lena, though, that's a game winner, you know? You get off to a good start as Lena. Obviously, she's a little bit of a snowball hero. She likes to catch fire and keep things rolling and burning in her direction. And as mentioned, we also got the Core Shaker. So Morphling Shaker used to be a support Shaker. Now it's Morphling Shaker with a Core Shaker. Maybe you can get a little bit better action together than with the support, right? Because back in the day of Morphling Shaker, one of the issues was that like the Morphling was crazy. It's like bouncing all over the place and killing everyone. But it wasn't until the late game where the support Shaker would also get like an Aghanims, right? And feel like we could do, as I call, the wobble, of course. You know, the infinite stun. You're just blowing up everybody. It feels like you can be 20k behind and still win the game. Much more possible now with the Core Shaker.
That's right. And we've got some wonderful... Oh, there it is. Boy on the main stage. Seb putting out the lines already right at the start. We're getting ready to go into this game number 1. Alliance facing off against OG, the grudge match of all grudge matches. And of course, just getting ready into these groups right from the start. God, the voice lines are going to be great. I remember why I muted some of these players now. But no, definitely not something that you want to do at this point. Already 4 heroes from OG heading into the river. Going to run into Hanskin. Doesn't have anything skilled yet. Might need to go for the blink. They're slowing him down.
I don't think that's worth it. Don't do it.
Yeah, he's just going to try and walk that one off. And it does look like he's going to be able to get out of there in spite of the boots. And now FNG comes over, so the rest of Alliance shows up, not going to back down from the battle. And instead, it's going to be OG that have to. So they drop a ward in the river. This is going to scout out, obviously, runes that can spawn. But they're kind of just bullying him out of this area. OG have full vision. Alliance still trying to force a fight here.
This saves their TI.
Dude, this is the FNG is going to go for the wraparound now. Runs into Seb, looking for the body blocks. Seeing if he can find the chase down there. The fissure blocks off. Not going to be able to get to the roach pit. Can they bring him down? Maybe going to look for a deny on OG. Will they be able to do it? The slow down. They get the deny onto Seb. FNG drops low, but still nobody dead except for Seb, who gets killed by his own team. But this is going to set up for 4 Alliance bounty runes right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah, I think Hanskin's safely going to get there. Maybe he doesn't go for it. He might think that something's going to be a little closer. It's a race between Sox and Hanskin right now. Oh, he's going.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get the deny in time. Yeah, so that's going to be 3 of them there. But, man, what a great way to start this for Alliance.
Aren't you glad he didn't take Blink, guys? This is why at home, please, don't do it. All right, look at that value. Very well done. And heading right back into that top lane. I love what No-Tail's doing right away up here, too. Just popping in the damage, right? This is what you want to do is level 1. With the Ancient Apparition, try and abuse the fact that you have this little bit of extra range on the Chilling Touch.
Mid lane now, we're going to take a look at this one. Hobson going off against Limp Lena. Obviously nice to be able to get those Anchor Smash damage reduction hits off whenever possible, but with the long range on Limp, it's not going to be easy. So this will be an interesting one to watch here and see how much damage Limp can really do.
As well as the build that Thompson goes for, too, because you'd expect that you're probably going to be going for, obviously, like a lot of Anchor Smashes and probably the Kraken Shell so that you can, like, I'm not worried too much about Gush, because I just want to go jungle, right? Like, Tide's an interesting hero because it doesn't matter the number of units in the AoE. Number 1 barely takes damage. Number 2 does the same damage to everyone with the Anchor Smash. So you can farm like crazy if the stacks are there, even if stacks have been nerfed. Still worth it.
Something to watch for sure, if you can get those stacks up and eventually take them as well. Up here in the top lane, again, we're going to check this one out. No-Tail facing off against Hanskin, and obviously Queen of Pain, like you talked about, with the dagger changes, getting some health back, always nice to watch for. It feels like there's potential for kill in a lot of these lanes. I'm going to have to be pretty quick on my camera work.
Oh, it is dangerous down bottom. Between like an Undying and a Morphling 2, you can really try and push to the limit, especially if you get level 2 with the Soul Rip on FNG. You might be going for something a little bit crazy.
Yeah, definitely something to watch for.
Sox is trying to sneak around to the back. He's looking to see if he gets a little bit too low with that Fable being available.
Right. Something to watch for. No big mess-ups yet at all. And again, showing some of the power. Snowtail going to drop the flag, give a tip. Starting off TI the way that we would expect from the two-time winners. OG keeping that pressure on.
Just give him a little wave, yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll get a couple high fives as well across the teams. You know, some good spirits here.
Oh, Limp also going to block out that small camp. So Topson should be aware that that happened, though, seeing the sentry ward on Limp as he headed over there.
Yeah, and that's a camp where you can't really hide it. You can easily deward that one. There's nothing really sneaky about it.
Oh, little courier snipe there. FNG not quite keeping track of the route that his courier was taking. Ends up getting punished a little bit, but still doing a good job of enabling this Morphlane to at least have a decent time here. 10-1 so far, and across the board, things looking perfectly fine for Alliance.
Yeah, and that's not just like a lucky thing that Sox against that courier. The whole time he was trying to position himself in that angle towards FNG. Like, he's hoping that you're going to make that mistake, because it's something that's so easy. We all do it in our own games, but like when you're on the big stage like this, it's something that a lot of pro players honestly still aren't used to doing. It's just like the constant idea of where my courier is right now and not losing it, because it's very punishing. Not just for yourself, but for your carry, right? Like, you're a 5. You're bringing out regen to keep your Morphling alive. It is crucial that you keep that courier going.
Well, we're going to see, again, FNG as those strength stacks start to dwindle, getting lower and lower without that much of anything, actually. Only a sentry ward to his name. So we'll see what FNG decides to do. This feels like one of those run into the tier 2 towers and die situations.
Nice play by Limp, though.
Yeah.
Comes in and gets that bounty, run right past Tops, and he should just take that small camp, but Nate doesn't want to reveal that it's stacked up there. Or, sorry, blocked up.
Hanskin there just blinking away from potential danger.
Oh, speaking of, FNG's actually diving into the tower. Still no first blood.
Yes.
But yeah, he's just gone. We know that.
Yeah, we knew he was heading.
Didn't get a courier on the way.
Nico Baby. Waveforms to the high ground. He's just sitting there with the...
Sir, you're Radiant. Does he know?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's... I mean, he needed to back away, I guess, is the big thing. But that means Seb gets a free lane here for a little while. And looks like he'll be okay. They do still have 2 points in Fade Bolt.
FNG getting the pull off too, using the decay. Okay. Seb's on it though.
He still gets
right over there.
Yeah, that's gonna be fine.
Man, so much bullying is happening in this bottom lane. Not the the bully of Undying. You kind of expect not able to get there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it's just NoTail and S4 chasing each other through the river. Still no. First blood here at 5 minutes right now.
Dude, what is going on in this game? This is a wild one right now.
You don't lane in the river?
Yeah.
With creeps just battling each other down here?
Not. You know, good amount of damage there on the top set. And Hanskin goes forward. It's going to be a good amount of damage. See if that one gets Kraken shelled off. Also, I mean, it still has the Fairy Fire too, so it won't be a kill. But you can see right now, Limp is definitely off to a hot start. 31-13. In comparison to the 21-1 for the Tidehunter. I mean, it is type of thing you would expect with the, Lina very strong there, but still, good stuff.
And from all that pressure down bottom, Nico may be hurting, right? He's 10 CS behind the Clinks right now, and they do have level 2 Soul Rip, and you already saw he was morphing down, so FNG could hit him, and there's obviously a lot of value with that since it is a flat amount of heal. And there you go. Yeah, look at that. Juice right back up.
Yeah. Back up to where he used to be. Seb's still having a good time on this Legion Commander. So you can see it's sort of like asymmetry in terms of the farm. Like, the Legion Commander and the Clinks having a good time. Tidehunter not necessarily having a bad time on Topson, but behind, definitely. And you can see almost a full level. And in fact, we'll see if Limp decides to go for a play here. It's not easy. Killing a Tide is not a simple affair.
No, and what's going to be interesting is the dynamic between the Tide and the Lina in terms of who's going to be making rotations and moving in this game, right? You're not expecting Tide to be a very mobile hero, whereas Lina's going to try and utilize the lower cooldown of the Laguna Blade, be active, be useful for the squad. But one thing that OG have done is that they're keeping their 5 high in XP. I mean, you look over at FNG, he's on Undying, you're not expecting much. NoTail, AA, very greedy hero, and he wants to be ready to combo as soon as possible with the level 6 of the Legion Commander, so he's not trying to shy away from the XP that much.
We're going to take the long walk again, has boots here, and this is given some room here to Hanskin, who's trying to get up his levels as well. Only level 3 on this Queen of Pain, and tries to get a pull, but No Tail is already there to maybe stop it. And it does look like he gets some aggro, so that'll be okay. Again, a little bit of a chase going on here. FNG, they find him off in the trees with Thompson making the rotation and drawing first blood. A quick kill over there without the Ravage.
Yeah, and here I was saying I wasn't too concerned about the Gush, but I mean, with the weakening of the stacks, maybe he just wants to be a little bit more active. 2 points in Gush already, the 2-2-2 build. Not something you really expect from a Tide Hunter, but when it's there to help enable the kills, that's absolutely masterful to have. And of course, I really like not getting Ravage early. That is definitely standard, right? Because I mean, what are you gonna do? You go Ravage once, maybe get like 1 kill. If you're lucky, 2 that early in the game. The earlier points on like just Anchor Smash, even like I'd be fine with like a 0-4-4 build or something, right? Okay. But the 2-2-2 is also really cool.
Thompson Classic makes it happen, and we have our first blood already as S4 is going to be bullied back a little bit. Quick push away, another fissure onto 2, but that's going to be the end of the aggression. It looks like although Sumail already out with that Burning Barrage. And again, if you're coming in from a little break away from Dota, this is what Klinks does now.
He's a little different.
And look at that, they're building up ancient stacks as well. That's 3 of them right now and 3 on this hard camp. So a nice chunk of change ready for Sumail when he decides to retreat fully back into the jungle.
Yeah, or even Thompson, right? I mean, Tide is very good at farming up the stacks as well. I think the shining spot for Alliance right now, for me, is probably S4, right? He's doing very well to start as an Earthshaker. This is a hero that can absolutely fall apart, even with the changes and stuff to like the laning stage. Sometimes you just don't get a good lane as Shaker, and you spend like 10 minutes farming up lane.
Ooh, that was a good cooldown there. As they won't be able to make anything happen afterwards, but force out the Tombstone.
Oh, speaking of S4, he's chasing No Tail into the trees up top. Oh, he can't quite get the damage though. Oh, the okey doke, the vision that AA has, it just lets him dance around him so easily.
Hanskin there, looking for the chase down, gets the dagger off, and S4 the one that finds the kill. Very well played.
That's sick. It's great that he got that kill too.
Yes.
Hanskin didn't like come and end up grabbing that one. You'd much rather get that gold on S4 as fast as you can. As the Treads, this is where Shaker like now has hit his stride. Treads are amazing on this hero, very good for the mana efficiency when you're using your totem, and now he's going to try and farm towards that Blink Dagger. Great timing so far. For 9 minutes, this is an excellent start for an Earthshaker.
You can see that like there's a pretty close connection there between all the heroes, and Sumail is trying to get a little bit of acceleration out. Just look at this build. Like, this is the type of build that only exists in Herald gameplay or professional Dota 2 gameplay.
That's true.
The maximum amount of efficiency that you can get is Sumail, and just trying to clear so much gold. Up top, a blink away, Hanskin not going to be able to get anything, and also going to throw an AA blast down bottom as Sumail finishes this one off. Are they going to try?
It's optimistic, I would say. Oh, he might morph down. This is next time. They have the ward too to try and snipe some stuff.
Okay, no extra vision there.
The thing is, he just can't show now, though, right?
Yeah, until it's done.
It's just it's very frustrating for him. Like, he can't contest Zeb like pulling away the wave or anything like that. So there's some value even when you're not getting a kill. And what is S4 up to here? He's lurking around up top here, playing near that ward.
Everything's still looking relatively even as FNG gonna take a little run at it, pops the ulti.
I guess he really thought he was going to get that slow off, obviously.
Yeah.
Not able to. But they are going to use that to still pressure mid. Drop the Tombstone, too. They just want 1 kill and go.
Ready to make it happen. No Tail gonna drop down fairly low. Does have ulti back up again in 5 seconds, but FNG just keeps that pressure on. Fully committing for the kill. Ends up going down. Will cost him his life.
Now, AA, that used to be 40 seconds. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's 60 seconds now. Can't Ice Blast as quick, so that little chuck down to the bottom lane, I said, it's harmless and everything. Well, it ends up just letting the Undying walk it off and just kill him.
I thought that they were going to try and make a more concerted effort towards pressuring that mid tier 1 tower a little bit as the smoke comes out. It was close to a ward, but I don't know if they quite scouted it. But just look at this movement down towards bottom. I mean, Radiant scanning it doesn't quite connect.
They've just given up top.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're fully just saying we don't care, and by doing that, like with the help of the vision behind the tower for Hanskin, Nico Baby's like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna go top. Like, there's no value for me down here. Great dodge. There's still some time on the smoke for Thompson, but he still only has the phase boost, of course. Doesn't have like the best way to initiate with his Ravage, and looks like this will just be a little bit of nothing here. He might even reveal on this off board. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, they were smoking.
So at least in this early going, a trade-off of tier 1 towers, it feels very standard. And oftentimes what ends up happening is these big fights that happen in a little bit of a later stages.
Okay, this is so weird. So Smell just cleared the 2 camps, right?
Yeah.
And he did it all right before the minute mark.
Okay.
Which is something you don't, like, usually he would have.
That's a good point, yeah. Clearing them. Before they respawn.
Yeah. New Dota.
And there is going to be a Watermelon sitting up in the top lane. This is what we've come to expect and what we know so well from a Tidehunter. It's just standing in the lane saying you can't really deal with us. But they are bringing multiple heroes around here. Limp hanging on to a Haster and has Boots of Travel also, and immediately rushing into the BKB.
This has become a very popular build. Right, just like going into the BKB as soon as you can, allowing you to stand tall, really utilize the right-clicking damage that you're going to get. And of course, you know, it doesn't hurt landing your spells when you're dash commune. It's pretty good.
As FNG will drop the Tombstone, and that sets up for Nico Baby to clear through the ancient stacks.
That was a triple.
Yeah, that was good. But OG pressuring in.
Radiant's bottom tower's still there, but not for long.
Can't outrun wildfire.
Dire's middle tower's in trouble. Which one, Dire again? Dire's top tower is under attack. Regeneration! Are you done? Dire's top tower might be going down! Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower looks to be disintegrating. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's putting a hurt on Radiant's middle tower. Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's top rubble. Dire's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Another life for the King Mage.
Cast upon the tide. Killing spree.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
My waters rise.
tower needs a hand. Radiant fortified their structures. Pretty good move if you ask me. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's top rubble. Radiant's middle tower is not feeling the love. Dire's middle tower is falling.
Can't
Radiant's bottom tower needs a hand. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
They're unstoppable. Double kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is about to topple. Radiant's top tower ain't looking too steady. Radiant's top tower just tapped out. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower don't look good. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower's under attack. Dire's bottom tower's getting pushed around. Dire's putting up a barricade. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Dominating, I guess. Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double kill. Godlike. More than 2 kills, but less than 4 kills.
As long as we stay positive, we'll win.
That was perfect.
Double kill. Goodness. Impossible kill.
Radiant's bottom tower needs a hand. Radiant called in the fortification. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower must have been dizzy. Dire's top tower is about to be Radiant's top trouble. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks is falling. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
As long as we stay positive, we'll win.
Double damage! Radiant's middle tower is under attack! Radiant's middle tower had a run-in with the Dire. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks probably gonna die. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
My waters rise.
There they go. Ownage.
Welcome to the abyss of pain. this will grow back?
Happened again. Mega kill.
Put your fire to work.
They're unstoppable. Double kill. That was unreal. It happened again. There they go. Double kill. Goodness. I'm not reading this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is not feeling the love. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You talk to me.
There they go.
Cremation isn't nature.
Happened again. Impossible.
the same order, so it's the same.
I see. So you're just smart.
I'm just prepared.
Yeah.
You need to buy more wards.
I really wish I could have like a set observer ward over there.
There's cue cards if you want. You can write them down.
I'll just use this thing.
Okay, that's okay.
There's one there, by the way.
I'm over here.
Yeah, I might load it up soon.
All right, so what's happening in this game? Because we see this Sven absolutely out of control. Generally, when you're looking at net worth, Svens always have to be ahead, right? If they're not ahead, they're basically behind?
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say. I do think, again, in the current path, he's very similar to Tiny. He buys almost the exact same item. You go Echo Saber, you want to go for Silver Edge.
Correct. Thank you.
And BKB, so he has very similar timings to Tiny, and right now those items are just a little bit overtuned, so he doesn't need to be as far ahead as he traditionally needed to be in order to be strong. But of course, it's a hero you expect to be very far ahead, and especially they had a Bounty Hunter draft, and you have both Bounty Hunter, Dark Clear, a lot of ways to enable this Sven to just like roll over the game. I think it's a really, really cool draft, and I think they're the only team that has picked Dawnbreaker so far.
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was first pick too.
Yeah. And it's an interesting lane. Dawnbreaker Sven, I do not want to play against that. It's a stun into another stun, into like a hammer being thrown over me, and then I can't move.
They're so tanky too.
And they're running at haste, yeah, and they're very tanky.
Massive, like, great base stats as well as armor.
Yeah, I think this VP draft, the way they have very, very strong timings again. Their team fight is very, very strong. It just looks hard to play against.
I mean, Undying is obviously having some struggles right now because their base is in shambles.
Yeah.
Do they have a decent comeback potential?
They did all of this without Godstrength. Granted, 2 of their heroes were dead.
Yeah.
But I don't think GP is interested in leaving anytime soon.
Empire is just a number.
Pretty good Storm game. Other than the Silencer, there's not much to catch him aside from like, well, other than items like little scepters.
I got a question. Which spirit do you think will be the most picked at this TI? This is also Void Spirit's very first TI.
Yeah, Void is the most picked mid lane hero right now.
Really?
For sure. Yeah, it's like the top 3 picked heroes in Dota pubs, pro level pubs.
But there are bans here in Captain's
There are,
Mode.
and also Pango is one of the top picked heroes, and it's not in any game, right? And
No,
I don't
think
even,
it's been picked at all.
I don't even think it got banned in first phase in most of the games, if any.
They've gone here. Borax is going to try and jump back in the.
Because you're also putting yourself in an awkward position, right?
It sounds
Trial.
I like this. Wards on high ground for B.
Go, but as we saw, 86 getting caught at the start of it. The BKB can't come out sooner as he's just gone. And Arbed with the Zags and Ice as well, just being able to run forward with that immunity. And Monet just not getting to play his game at all. Manta, sure, it will get you out of the chains, but Avalanche is always going to cause an issue for trying to escape as a morph.
I think that was literal worst case scenario also for Aster. They get their Undying caught, they get their Kunkka caught, he pops BKB, dies immediately after, so even if he has buyback, he can't come back with the BKB, so it's just, I think everything that could have gone wrong there went wrong for them. And EG fully capitalized, get themselves a Rax advantage, and now significant gold advantage.
Big lead. Big lead now at 25 to 11. As you can see on the graphs, all tapering right over towards EG's heavy advantage now. Aster.
He's just gonna to
the
fight.
next move has to be a good one. If they lose another team fight here, it could potentially
London's going to get one shot. Pretty much.
And now, I mean, do they want to fight with that? EGs, they don't. Man down.
Mega kill. Stonage.
I've wandered in the flame.
They're unstoppable. Double kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack!
And pick apart Asta one by more in game 2, or if EG is going to be able to walk.
Picking a timing that they know is stronger, and then just saying, you come at us, and you're not good enough to, you know, to break our defense, essentially. And they said that they didn't win every game like that, but they take those games when they can, and often you can get those where it's just like, they literally said the word turtle. You turtle and go late. That's it.
So during Secret's era of dominance in the online period, this is what it felt like, because we played against them all the time. And it just felt like Secret, they would pick some heroes, they would do whatever in lanes. You could beat them sometimes, they would let you outdraft them in lanes some games, and you could beat them in lanes, it was possible. But then they just set up the wall. There's a puppy on a high ground, you know where he is, you don't see him, but you know he's there.
Yeah.
And then they just wait for you, because they know if you go up that hill, you're going to lose the game. And the map hasn't fundamentally changed that much in that way, so I think like the concept of that way of playing still works pretty effectively for them. And I think a lot of the teams right now have understood that that's the way to do it. And I mean, a year has passed since then, so.
The idea is like, essentially that the high ground advantage is so strong because of vision, the mischance, that even though they have a weaker draft at that point, you still can't run up into them, and then they just farm and wait until they have that strong point, and then they go to you. right?
Or like you're so even, like the difference is not big enough to where you can cross the vision gap that they have for the high ground.
Yeah,
sorry if this is getting too complex.
No, this is good. I mean, we have nothing else to do anyway. But then, does that mean that why aren't late game carries more common? Why am I not seeing Naga, Anti-Mage, Arc Wardens? If you have that ability to turtle so resiliently.
So that's part of it, right? You're picking heroes like Clinks, for example, because it makes their map small. It forces the enemy team to group up while you're controlling map, so you can out-farm them and get ahead. I think you will see Anti-Mages, and I think you will see Nagas, but it needs to be in the correct games. It's a lot about matchups and timings. I think like if your timing is too slow, like in the Alliance OG case, where I think the Morphling Shaker is very, very strong, but they just never comes online.
Yeah.
OG went poked high ground at 18 minutes, and it puts Alliance in a very awkward position.
Yeah, it's too late at that point.
Right. So you need to match your timing where it's slightly later than the opponents. I think that's going to be a big skill. Again, it's day one group stage, and this is just the first impression that I'm getting.
And it's just the first game also for all of the teams, right? So how much are we going to see things change for game number 2? Because we talked about this a little bit. People come in with a plan. If it didn't work game 1, are you going to throw it out the window? No. It's too little to go off of.
I think Aster will definitely ban Tiny in the next game.
Sure.
And breaking tables.
That's
I look
fair.
at the game starting.
That's true.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if there were any updates about things that were changed. So it does look like there was, in the second time, obviously you trade out.
Well
so
done.
Alliance are going to be the ones that take second pick this time, and OG get Radiant. So same situation that we had last game. They're not switching anything up, feeling like, all right, we just got to either execute better or ban out the Clinks. We'll see what ends up happening.
They're switching.
Are they? Oh, I thought that it was the other way around.
Like now Alliance have priority,
That's a good point. Good
and
point.
they took the better thing, which is second pick.
I see.
But the better side is still
Right.
Radiant, and so OG took Radiant.
Right. So how are you?
Flippity floppity. That's right. Yes, so that was coming into TI. I would say that would be my expectations, is that Radiant is better. I think it plays better. It feels nicer to be Radiant. I like that. Triple camp up there, and then you fire 'em back to Roche, and then you fire 'em back to Ancients. That's all. When you're the goalie, to use a a hockey. And you played goalie soccer. I'm sure it's similar. Sometimes your team is doing so well that the puck never ends in your end.
No, I never.
Okay, he didn't play on a good
experienced that.
team, obviously. But, you got
I
to stay
went-
hot. You got to be ready for when your time, when you're called upon, you
Right.
can't be cold. You've just been chilling the whole game. Smil's just chilling the whole
true.
game. And so when he's finally given the ball and says, all right, now that you're like 8 feet tall and everyone is like tiny little children, I need you to go dunk on some fools. He dunked.
You switched analogies so much
I
there.
need to
when
cover
they
as
give
many
the goalie
sports.
the ball and they go dunk it on the hockey rink, that's what ends up happening.
I'm trying to cover. I understand there's not a lot of hockey knowledge, right? I'm just like trying to pick and choose. Isn't NBA the most global?
I feel like
Except for that
football,
thing with the
soccer
little.
still is.
Oh, he called it football. Don't pander to them. Call it what you
see
call
you,
it. He
heroes.
calls it soccer. All right.
I played for
Don't
17
pretend.
years. Can I tell you something?
Yeah,
I think I've said this before on broadcast. When I was in high school, the first game that we played competitively, I was the keeper, and we lost 0-17.
No, you didn't.
It felt real good. It felt real good.
No, you got. Did you get subbed out?
No. I blocked more than 17 shots.
Okay, that's
just that
to
there
be
were
fair.
17
All right.
through. That was
Wow.
the problem. What do you mean did I get subbed out? How would they sub me out? I'm the greatest.
Well, I mean, not if they scored 17. I feel like
That's
it can't
not
get
on me.
much
That's
worse.
on my team. Listen, that's like my team pick and pudge.
That is the most Dota player thing I've ever
Exactly.
heard.
It
Yeah, we
totally
get
is.
scored on 17 times, and I'm the goalie, but that's not on me. That was my team.
It was my team.
That's
God
like,
dang it.
look, man, I bought all the wards as support.
Exactly.
One more, yeah, I didn't place them, but like I couldn't because like you guys wouldn't like get it on the map, so it's not
Exactly.
my fault that we had no vision.
You're speaking to a bunch of people that are all agreeing with what you're saying right now.
That is not good. You should not be agreeing with that, or else you're just one of these 17 scored on goalies.
And think about where I am as well. So we're going to get ready. We're going to actually tell them right now that we are ready in chats. That way we can get the game underway. But Alliance versus OG. The other thing that we should talk about a little bit with that last game was that it felt like the Lina never really got enabled in the way that you would want. You talked a lot about the idea of like who's going to make these rotations and make moves. And it actually ended up being Thompson that found a kill in the jungle, which I think was our first blood at like 5 minutes or whatever into it. In the end, Limp only had 1 kill on the Lina. He was like 1-5 and something else. Laguna Blades, I don't think ever killed somebody. Like, it was a rough game for that Lina. And that was the last pick. That was everything that you put into it.
Not to go off topic here, but do you have all chat muted or something? Why do we never see anything in the lobby? Why are we being
Maybe
told to
I'm
ready?
muted. Maybe they just don't know.
Did you ignore everyone in the admin as well? Because like they're just like, well, are you guys ready? They're like, messaging us. Like, well, yeah, we are ready.
Yeah.
They're not saying anything.
No, we're not.
But apparently it's coming soon, so that's the secret. But yes, I would agree that they basically had too many heroes trying to do the same thing. It feels like there was no one who could actually make plays. And especially the most surprising thing is that I think S4 had a better than expected start to that game. In terms of his gold and like getting the blink dagger and stuff.
There were a couple moments that felt a little rough for him in that one.
Yes, 100%. Yes, the late game execution was poor.
Yeah.
Especially getting caught. Like the 2 very specific moments that essentially lost Alliance their chance to come back were based off of initiations by him, which sucks because Earthshaker is not someone who necessarily wants to jump in first.
Exactly.
It's always better to jump in second. Yeah, but he had to jump in first, and that's your job this game. So, condolences. But yeah, there really wasn't anyone else to do that, was there?
No, I mean, hypothetically, maybe the Queen of Pain, but like
for vision, she just blinks in and like, guys, they're casting spells on me. That worked a couple times, to be fair. That's usually how they won fights. Was like, I'm being dueled. Go team, I found them. They can't get away from us now.
And I think that's part of the strength of that Tidehunter pick too, because think about what those heroes are that you would normally fulfill in that role. It would be like the Ember or the Void Spirit or one of those others, and like that lane doesn't sound good against Tidehunter.
Well, the problem too was that the Tide was first base. Well, Shaker and then Tide Rubik, right?
Yeah.
What was the answer to Tide?
Yeah, they never had it.
There was 0 answer to Tide. They had 4 heroes to do something versus Tidehunter, and Thompson gets to be level 15 while his Clinks is level 22 and still feel like a strong hero because they can't stop Kraken Shell. And if you can't get your BKB in time because you're forced into a link, it's like there's so many layers of why the strategy was so good. Because he can't go BKB first because he's going to get dueled and died. So he has to go Lincolns. And then he needs an eggs, right? I'm a Morphling.
Exactly.
I need the eggs
You have to have
for my
it.
Shaker. So his item build was pre-planned just from the draft. There's not really much else that Nico Baby can do.
Right. And that's sort of the situation where those really good bands that came out from OG, the Shadow Demon, what have you. And it makes me think again, like one of those situations where maybe you pick something like a Disruptor or a Doom or, I mean, that hero's all weird, but whatever. Like, I guess that's the thing, right? Is that Tidehunter he presents a problem to you, and there was just never a solution that was presented by Alliance. And we saw what ended up happening when that was the case, and then you Clinks could just do whatever the heck you wanted. So
And
was having a great time.
Was the case in game 1.
Oh.
But guys, we have game 2. The draft is actually starting, so we're good. Don't worry. We got you. We got you coming up here with a couple of heroes and some picks.
Absolutely. As we get ready to go into this, I personally, I'm trying to think if there were any heroes that were banned out in the first phase that I really would like to see changed up in exchange for the Tidehunter.
Chen, Io, Monkey,
Tiny.
and Tiny.
Yeah.
That was our 4.
Right.
I don't know if I'd want to let any of those through. Those all sound worse than anything we saw.
It would be Chen Io, right? Those would be the 2 that you would let through for Alliance because it was Monkey and the other. So we're going to go into this one already. Monkey's still going to be banned, this time by Alliance.
Wow.
And Shaker gets taken out by OG.
Put some respect on his name. They do. They banned the Shaker. They say, you know what? That was actually pretty good. That was a little scary.
And then the AA as well.
They want that morph option available. But
they've banned out the Shaker. So you're thinking the Willow then?
Yeah, just, just
Okay.
a good hero. Like for themselves, obviously. Because, I mean, they've
Right,
got an
right.
incredible morph player. I hear the guy's pretty good at it.
That's true. Not bad. And so do we take out the Tiny now, or do you think about taking out the Morph? I mean, in a way, the Shaker was...
well, you have to ban the Io, but then they just get... it's not even the Morph, really. It's
Yeah,
more
that's
the
actually a
Io and
good
the
point.
Chen,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so the problem is now they've entered a situation where they can't ban both. So they're either getting Io or Chen. So they don't bother banning either of them. They just ban
And now,
Legion.
are they going to take the other then?
I think Io.
Oh, they don't.
Oh, yeah, right. We still have Tiny. Oh, my
Tiny's
God,
still in
dude.
there.
There's so much trouble.
So they pick out the Legion. So now, if they wanted to, they could go Chen Io.
There's one.
Do they take the second?
That would be a little bit crazy. Are they that crazy? No. Okay, that's good. Take the Io and the gyro.
And
All right,
you're
nice.
leaving
Nice.
Morph in with AA banned?
Well, this is okay.
What?
This
Surely
is okay.
they just morph here, and now you've got tiny Morphling?
Well, I mean, those are... Okay, that actually does sound pretty good. I'm trying to find something. That sounds
This
pretty
looks
good.
real bad. Does OG
okay.
want to do that, though?
But on the other side, Alliance took their IO, right? So the AA was banned. That's going to feel pretty good for Alliance. They were practicing this IO later into the season, and they go for the big ET. This hero's looked very good lately.
Interesting. Very interesting. I would be a little bit concerned. I'm surprised that they didn't go for the morph. But I guess what's the thought process there? You don't have to take it right now, and you're like it might be there later. I mean, I don't know. If you're Alliance, do you ban that
I
out
think
now?
you really want Tiny as a 1 these days. I
Okay.
think that's where I
Okay.
want it. And then there's still the idea of 2 as another one. And then 4, I think, is like the third thing that I want for Tiny. So
Right.
I don't think I'd want to open with like Tiny Morph, right?
Yeah.
Because then the Morph has to be mid.
Yeah, that's true. That's
you know?
true. Okay.
I'd rather just like chill, let things go. I mean, you've got ET, so
They
it's
ban out
fine,
the
and
morph.
they do ban it out, and that's fine. Just because they ban it doesn't mean that OG made a mistake either, because there's just like the draft just goes down a different path. They just want to say, yes, we recognize that is good,
Yes.
but it's even better when it's later. So let's just get rid of it now.
Hey, how's it going, mainstream? Hope you all are having a great time out there. I don't know if they can still hear us.
Can you guys wave at us? We can see your faces in the bottom. So
I
if you
think so.
hear us, I want you guys to wave.
Dude, we're causing trouble. I know it's going to happen
This is how
already.
I need to know, though.
No, they're
How else
not.
will I know?
I don't know. It's fine. All right, so what do we have else here?
10
Tidehunter
seconds
banned out
remaining.
along with the Bat Rider and the Morphling. I mean, that's the
5
only one that
seconds
really
remaining.
scares me right now if I'm Alliance. You don't really need to worry about the Willow now. You don't really need to worry about many of the other heroes that do banned out.
Many of the others.
Well, like there's nothing that's like immediately apparent that comboed with these ones like freak me out.
Yep. I'm so hot on Medusa. I think this hero's sick.
Okay.
It's got banned 2 games in a row now. I'm very
10
disappointed.
seconds remaining.
I think I have it for some of my predictions. I think she looks absolutely
5 seconds
terrifying. I think she's
remaining.
basically like Gyro, but a little greedier. So I think that she would definitely fit the way that OG are playing. But what about the Clinks? Is there any reason not to just potentially go back for that and like at least consider it with a tiny mid? Or it could be Tops and Clinks. He also plays that too. So if they're like ET wants to stack, that's his
Right.
life.
So the only thing that sort of makes me wonder about that is that if you are going to be playing like, then do you have Sumail play a more active Tiny at that point, or do you have Clinks play a more active Clinks? It doesn't feel like that's
Alliances
necessarily a
turn to
great
ban.
role for him. I don't know.
I think Sumail really likes those active carries where he can be a little bit more involved too. Like I don't think that they're just locked into like, oh, I'm gonna go farm camps
Yeah.
as the one and stuff like he did
Yeah,
as
that's true.
the Clinks.
True.
I do worry as to why he was playing so much techies though. I really hope that doesn't come into anything.
10
That was
seconds
very
remaining.
concerning.
I could see that being
5
dangerous.
seconds remaining.
Another Death Prophet ban, so really bringing back a lot of the same heroes and then just something a little bit annoying to play against in the Mirana, and out comes the Pangolier. So a hero that has been nerfed recently, and then got another nerf with the Echo Saber change too. So it's not bad. I mean, Echo Saber's still good on the hero. It's just not quite as good as it used to be before. But there's question marks, I think, of this hero because very flexible
10
across the
seconds
roles.
remaining.
But is it still good enough with all these nerfs?
5 seconds.
I mean, it causes some chaos. I will say, I was wondering if they're just going to Bloodseeker, and they do. God, that's, yeah.
I love how
That's
fast they just did that.
afterwards. Okay. We were talking about Snapfire earlier.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
The damage amp on those kisses is going to be deadly. The natural order combo together with it, that's pretty nice. And then they go back for the Slardar. When you were talking about heroes that you were excited to see, this is one of the ones that I was thinking of that actually sounds kind of cool.
Well, it's an IO, so
Yeah.
that's always pretty cheeky.
Actually,
right?
it's a Slardar, but...
Well, thank you. Yes, it's an
problem.
IO lineup where you can jump with the Slardar
10
and zip around
seconds
together
remaining.
True.
and get a lot done.
So to me, at least, I
5
feel like
seconds
that's the type of
remaining.
hero that you really needed in the lineup from Alliance, right? You've got Chaos. You've got a big, strong carry in the Gyrocopter. You needed something to start the fight, and it needed to be able to be like, not mess with the tangos rolling, so the Earthshaker or what have you, but also be like a strong hard disable, and that fits perfectly.
So currently they're most likely set to be FNG 5 Pango. With the IO playing with the Slardar in lane, and the Gyro is the 1. paired up.
You know, the other thing that we saw that we were talking about a lot in the pre-TI pub scenes, the IO with the Pango with the shard on the IO. You remember getting some stuns with the rolls through.
All right, yeah, true.
That could be pretty cool.
Also, it could be a core IO with a position 4 Slardar. That would actually work really well with how the core IO functions.
And then Gyro 4?
No. Gyro will be the 1. The IO will be the 3. The Slardar is the 4. Because the whole idea of this IO 3 is that you pick some 4 that, like, I saw IO Bloodseeker. Right?
Right.
The Bloodseeker plays as a 4 because you can like zip around together, and Bloodseeker has really useful spells.
That's interesting.
You remember how the core IO used to work with Helm of the Dominator?
Yes.
And the creep? Slardar would be your Helm of the Dominator creep. He would actually function exactly the same as like a Centaur. It's actually true. It's just an upgraded version.
Dude, I don't know if we'd be having. I don't know how I feel about S4 IO. All right, Clinks is back.
I think that's the play. Like it just looks good. They just played it. You know they played on Sumail and Thompson. Don't back down. Go right in there.
They did. They went in. Oh, now if there's any benefit here, it's that Alliance have changed up their draft from last time. Like, we'll see if it ends up working for them this time. I like a lot of what Alliance is doing, but you're kind of greedy in a way, right? Like, IO Gyro want to farm, get their levels up, make all that fun stuff happen. Slardar needs a Blink Dagger. Pango can be active early. I feel like maybe you need somebody that can play with the Pango. We're assuming it's Pango mid right now, right?
No, I think it's Pango 5.
You think it's Pango 5? All right.
Yeah, I think they're going to pick some other mid.
Okay.
That would be my guess right now.
So then what would be that type of mid that you would want? Maybe a puck?
They already have well, it kind of depends on how they want to play.
Right.
Personally, I think that it'll probably just be the 3 Slardar and the 4 IO.
Okay.
And they'll probably just go for like another like active sort of a mid, you know, you like your puck or something. Like, I mean, look at the bands like Storm Kunkka, that sort of idea. Void Spirit,
will win.
Ember Spirit looks possible. That lane sounds kind of awful though. They need someone that can kind of handle the idea of the Clinks there as well. I was looking through how well Clinks has been doing in the pub scene lately. He's been struggling against some pucks, you know, in terms of mid heroes, some Shadow Fiends.
Ooh, Shadow Fiend
because you're just like out farming in a sense.
I wouldn't mind Shadow Fiend at all. What about one of those heroes that contest the stacks? Does Clinks just take them too quickly that it's not? You can't even do that.
I mean, there's heroes that could do it, but go back for the Queen of Pain. And where is she going? Wait, we just have to wait it out here.
Okay, I like that way more. Okay. I like that way more.
All right, so it
Tops
is
and Tiny.
No surprises around the way, I guess. Well, except for, I guess, the question of who's taking it, Thompson or Clinks, so, or
Right.
Sumail in terms of the Tiny. So, yeah. I think with the Queen of Pain coming out, that
Dude,
that looks all right.
Motel set. It's like a Transformer hand. That thing's terrifying. I'm going to grip you. I'm coming for you.
I'm going to grip you and I'm going to rip you.
Oh, man. We sounded a little bit like Mr. T there. That was
Tosses them
dangerous.
asunder.
That's right.
Can he DMCS?
Probably.
I am Mr. T.
You know,
I don't know about you.
You really aren't.
Oh, nuts.
I don't think that.
I'll call him up and ask him if it's cool.
Okay.
You know,
You do that.
Maybe he'll let me be Mr. T.
For a day.
Change my branding.
Wear a giant gold chain.
Think he'd send me one?
No.
He's probably got extra laying around. I can't imagine he only has one giant gold chain.
That's true. Although, to be honest, I don't think that he always goes out wearing those clothes. Although it was stylish.
You know what? I think he probably does.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably fake gold, so it's lighter.
Cool.
Like, he's probably got the real gold for the good stuff, but his everyday carry is just fake, you know?
Okay.
You know.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to talk about Dota instead?
Let's get into it.
That sounds pretty
Game
good.
number 2, OG facing off against Alliance. Alliance trying to come back from
that's a lie down there. It says MVP last match. That's false.
Oh, no.
I got an issue with that one, Valve.
Interesting. So apparently we have those predictions coming up every game. So I'll need to redo that console before the next one, so you don't see that little pop up there. Apologies to all the fine folks out there.
But don't forget to do your predictions.
That's right.
That's always good, right? You guys want to get some stuff.
True enough. So the quick run out. by everybody, and Seb gonna do some high fives, dropping down the pins. We had a very interesting level 1 that happened last time, where Alliance were able to completely zone out OG and almost take down everything, which would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, they wound up with 3 of the 4.
Yes.
So that was pretty good with the deny on 1. Kyle has clearly paid off Sumail, because I know he planned on doing this.
Dude, and it's freaking Kyle's out there tweeting about it too.
Yeah.
This is what happens. He's like, all right, Sumail's like, all right, I'll spam your voice line if you tweet good things about me dunking as Michael Jordan. That's literally what happened.
That's quite the trade. I mean, to be fair, he did dunk on last game.
That
did
true.
happen.
Might happen again in this one, depending upon how it all goes. Sumail starting the game with a bunch of branches, has a stick to go as well.
But like, at least he got to that stage, and then you, it's tough because you have to play off basically just Echo, right? Like, you can do your Blink Fishers and everything, and other than that, he's essentially a vehicle for the Morphling. But the Slidar, no long cooldowns, right? Doesn't have to worry about that. And it should make it easier for Limp to play Dota, which is really important. Because last game he had a very hard time transitioning that farm into actual usefulness for the team on the Lena.
That is going to be obviously very important. You know, I think some of that too, running around with the boots of travel first, it's sort of what you feel like you have to do, but needing to make those plays. And it's hard to do it into the Tidehunter as well. Oh man, I really hope that we don't just have those predictions come up all the time. But if we do, that's perfectly okay as well. As the missile is going to go out, and the quick kill in the missile too. Nice, little shredder value.
Every time they change, perfect. Good stuff. Lanes, probably the most interesting one, I guess, would be the mid lane between like Thompson and Limp, right? This idea of just like, will Thompson push it too far? Or will Limp, right? There's definitely an opportunity there where you're like, you try and get too close to space for a scream, thinking you can get the finish after all the whittling down, and suddenly you just get blown up by Tiny, and you feel like an idiot. You know, that tends to happen to the Dota players versus this one. Excellent denies you from Limp. I mean, the guy is good at laning. Like, there's no doubt about that. Obviously, his mid and late game sometimes leaves something to be desired. It's a bit of a classic for him, but his laning is sick.
Definitely one of the strongest ones in the game, and will hopefully be able to keep up the good performance that we've seen so far from him. And likewise, Thompson has basically done what his team needed him to do every time, it felt like. And down bottom, getting a little bit of pressure on to S4 with No Tail, keeping those big punches in with the ET Spirit.
Oh, this is such a fun hero to play in lane. Like, ET it's like 2 different heroes in some ways. Like, I feel like there's so much about the hero in the laning stage that you have to learn as much as like a normal hero playing an entire match of Dota. Because there's just so many shenanigans you can do with this hero. With your Spirit, between like pulling the waves and like stopping them from pulling the waves by throwing out your Spirit, and then if you get the stacks, you get your bonus damage that you're throwing on top of them. For some reason, you can trade like nobody else at level 1 and level 2. Like, look at him with the aura in this. He's fighting 2 heroes.
Yeah.
That's 2 heroes for a Spirit, guys.
And it just doesn't matter.
He's done the
just
math.
So strong. And has the salve afterwards if things get a little bit too dicey. And in the meantime, up top, a very different scenario, but you can see that OG can kind of do a similar bowling strategy, but mainly by virtue of like throwing out this blood right and basically saying, you know, if you want to get these last hits, if you want to contest for ours, you're going to take some damage for it.
Yeah, FNG's actually so slow that he can't get out of the blood right. Like, he just got stuck in it by casting it right in the middle of him. He has to be running like right away when it happens, and Seb even running in there trying to contest his courier, nearly gets it.
Careful, careful. Limp. Trading some hits there, keeping the punches now onto Thompson.
No Tail, got stunned, bottom.
Chance, and getting there, first blood.
The bashes are there. He got a little too bold, trying to protect Sumail.
Wait a minute. More punches coming in now onto Sumail. The body blocks coming in on from the IO. Can they find themselves a second trying to get the answers? S4 down low. S4 gets the final touch and trading the aggro over afterwards. No Tail's angry about it. Wants to see if he can get some retribution, but won't be able to happen.
Great little micro spacing there from Hanskin between the blocking, but also getting in range of the tower. Because you saw Sumail was trying to get a trade there, and he almost got it on S4, even through the healing.
Radiant's top tower is under
Lots
attack.
of action early on here. The creep wave did end up getting ran through, so Seb will get there just in time to get some more of the last hits. But you can see a very scrappy battle amongst these lanes. Alliance starting it off, though, with 2 kills on top.
Nico Baby obviously had a bit of a rougher start last game. Kind of similar here as well. Already a gap starting to widen between him and Sumail.
Thompson, Water Rune, Bottle dead.
That's
Limp.
That's 3 daggers. That is a lot of damage.
Okay. So Limp, after the frustrations, not being able to
top
find
lane
kills, as up top as well, going in all the way onto FNG, able to find one.
Nah, that was huge. All that battling, helping out Seb, obviously, right? Gets himself the move speed bonus, he can just chase down onto FNG, and you know that once he's gone for the swashbuckle, there's no way out.
And another round right there, you can see of Tuxa dropping the little shredder, killing the missile, getting some nice little gold income from that, and then salving up afterwards. We haven't really talked about that much, but there is already a couple of stacks being built up by the IO here into the dire triangle. So that's going to be a nice little chunk of change later.
Yeah, only gets the 1, unfortunately. Not quite able to get the 2nd. That's fine. Got the Ancients. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Seb taking some damage here. Slowed down. Looking for a finish. Can they bring him down all the way, though? Yes, they will. Nico Baby gets the kill. 4-1 start. And down bottom, also looking for more. No Tail in trouble. Gets bashed, gets killed. Another one.
Threw out that tip as well. Nico Baby. They're answering back in game number 2, and S4 is just terrifying. With the gloves of haste now and this bracer, just keeps on turning up the damage. And the problem with ET, of course, is that you don't really have a choice. You kind of have to just keep throwing in the spirit and trading, because once you give up that fight, then they're just going to hit Sumail. And like his gold's not going to look like this, right? It's not going to be a 32 last hits like he is now. So even though it kind of looks like No Tail's feeding a little bit, it is important feeding.
True.
Nonetheless. And he even gets another stack onto the small camp here. So he's boosting up his damage. And okay, never mind. He's a little bit early.
What happens? Scan now, recognizing there in the area, and Thompson was able to bottle the arcane, so Limp realizes that's happening. Does have level 6, almost level 7 now too, waiting to see if Thompson comes back and is going to contest for anything here as more damage getting thrown out up top. FNG down low, Cookie afterwards, a couple more punches. Bloodright forces FNG to the right-hand side, and with the salve up afterwards, down low, Sonic Wave not on the mark! Oh, but Seb's still going to go down. He hit onto Soxa, though, and Nico Baby chased down. Doesn't have quite enough mana or time.
How is he still
Cookie.
alive?
Well, goes for the deny. Not quite going to be there in time. Limp again, making huge rotations in this one. And Thompson also up here, but not able to connect.
That delaying by Soxa almost got Thompson a kill. That would have been unbelievable.
S4. Down low. S4 gets the kill, though. Sumail wants to finish him off with a little bit more regen. It's not going to be enough. Hanskin backs out as well. Dude, it is a brawly game here in this number 2.
It's not over.
More?
He went for the combo on Nico Baby, but they threw the missile on Thompson to make sure he wouldn't get the follow-up after. And No Tail even throws out the tip to S4. Says, haha, nice trade. All that for me.
8-2 in terms of the kills, but still the looming threat. Top net worth is Sumail.
Know, it's happened again. Look at the difference.
Yeah.
Like, he's, sure, my support's feeding, but you know why he's feeding? He's feeding me, all right? You might think that you're getting the kills. He's the one who's getting rich. Sumail's absolutely massive right now, and Nico Baby just kind of struggling. He's gone now to the mid lane to fill a bottle. That's not what your carry player wants to be doing.
Yeah, that doesn't feel great, does it? I mean, again, there's a nice chunk of change that's built up here with the ancient stacks eventually for this gyrocopter, but you need to be able to get there and finish them off. And if you're not careful, you lose a bad fight. Suddenly, you know, maybe Sumail can come on in there and try and sneak him away.
It's all they're thinking about that right now, right? Like, Hanskin just planted there for so long to get those stacks. Nico Baby's going for the stats build, no rocket barrage or anything, so he just wants to hit stacks in a while here. Meanwhile, No Tail is just hiding down bottom, trying to get caught by S4. S4 does not have a Quelling Blade, so it's not super easy to catch where No Tail is right now. Does ping out exactly where he's standing, so he knows.
He got the natural order debuff on him.
Yeah.
And that was what signaled it. So they know he's there, and Limp is going to go find him. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Quick little jump in, slept, but can't walk
he doesn't
past
have TP either.
Oh, no. Giving him the tip. Yeah, there's no room there. Queen of Pain's model's just a bit too big.
Up top as well, though, FNG tries to get a jump out of the Bloodright, not able to get it. Silenced and done.
The chase down is there as OG able to find one in exchange. Thompson, Invis Rune, but is Limp able to be killed. Sox is here, has the cookie.
Oh,
Abba toss, big combo. Lipto gets the blink away. Barely able to escape from that. And S4-2 will manage to get out. Wow, what a combo. I can't believe he was able to get out of there.
S4's turning it up. TI time, making the saves.
That's right.
Helping his ally out. Now, of course, that means Seb's a madman right now. Every time someone else is getting a low, but FNG is feeling safe enough to show under tower because there is no rupture at the moment.
Okay. Safe, safe, safe. They were able to clear out the large camp for Nico Baby, but haven't decided to take on those Ancients yet.
Wow. Okay, all right, good, good, good.
Thompson's
pretty poor again.
Yeah, he's not having a great time on this Tiny.
Well, I think they're just doing it again.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, this is what they want. This is Thompson is, I think, lowered himself in terms of farm priority for this this series at the very least.
Well, and it's interesting too because you're starting to see like the differences in style. And is this 4 Protect 1 going to end up working as Seb getting rolled on a little bit? FNG missed there at the end. Avalanche toss. Thompson. I mean, this is pretty bold of him. Takes off that Corrosive Haze and then the back away.
It's so interesting because I feel like, I mean, this has always been how they played, right? It's not that, but I just feel like it's been pushed to a further extreme. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like Thompson's usually like a little bit closer to the other two.
Relocate in. Toxa.
Oh, the Fools?
Oh,
they couldn't
well
do
played,
it.
Sumail.
Oh, he got it nice.
Yeah. He was able to get there in time and will be stomped, but then the relocate's going to pull him back. So they don't get the kill. Nice deny comes out there.
One of my boys, the Fools, to do it. You know, I know you love the Fool Assassins.
I do love
Big
the
fan.
Fools.
Yeah.
Fools are pretty cool.
They'll get a couple kills this event, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Thompson taking the top tower right now with the help of a catapult, though, and doesn't look like there's going to be a contest here from Alliance. We are on the item waiting train, so these are all the problems that you expect from the Earthshaker. Unfortunately, they also get bundled a little bit towards the Slider, as he needs to wait for that Blink Dagger. In this game, however, he does have the IO, so that is something where they can at least try and create some plays and opportunities utilizing the relocate, as well as just the general speed.
Oh, Sumail.
These cookies.
Yeah, there's no way out of this one. Nico Baby just gets demolished there. Throws out one more cookie afterwards.
He question marked as he walked into the Earth Splitter.
Are you kidding
me? Okay, to be fair,
Dude,
to be fair.
TI, he was going to die no matter what.
No, to be fair, he did tip him in lane.
That's true.
He tipped him in lane, all right? That was a taunt to get bodied, true combo.
Dude, to be honest though, IG started all of this. There's some things going on. There's a little bit of saline flowing in the bloods. I don't have Peter here, but in spirit.
S4 gets a lot of space up top, though. This kind of stuff you need.
Wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's a ping.
Wait a minute. They know. They know.
This is so dangerous when you just can't farm them with anyone else. Like,
oh, God. This is dangerous.
Dude, they're coming for these.
Dude, this is looking really... If Alliance lose these, they're going to lose the game, it feels like. They know that they have to show up and fight this one.
Sumail's just, like, drooling.
He's so ready. No tail going to get caught. Is there another question mark coming out? Down low, S4 dead! Now Alliance trying to find themselves a little bit of a turnaround here. Seb is running away from the missile so quickly. Let's get barely able to back out and keep Nico Baby from dying, but will he end up dying himself? The right clicks come through. Thompson diving under tower gets the finish. The easy tag comes out. Seb just still running around like a madman. The only one left is Nico Baby, and look at your Ancients. Oh my God, are they going to come take them all?
Oh, Thompson's getting that one. He's like, nice. I've been so poor. Thank you. Now we can finally get over top of S4 on the net worth chart.
Dude.
Man, those are a target. They want to get some vision in there, knock down the tier 1 tower, and that's going to make it a lot less safe for them to go there. And look at the circle from Alliance. FNG saying we need to secure our triangle right now.
Yes.
Like, that is our bank. That is our chance right now to try and get this gyrocopter somewhere relevant.
Yes.
We cannot lose that.
Well, and the thing that's interesting about OG also is that they're just going into fight. Like, Sumail's not coming to take them. He's farming his own stuff and saying, we're going to go and, like, just stop you from taking them and cause chaos while Sumail keeps farming. Like, that's what it feels like. They're not actually even, like, fully committed to taking them themselves. They're just wanting to stop Alliance from doing it.
They've scanned, too.
Yeah.
They know. Oh, no, he's coming. He's coming. He'll make his way over here.
Well, that's... I mean, even if he doesn't, like, this is all great, I think, for OG still.
Oh, good ward.
Nobody's doing anything.
From Sox as well. Sees what they're doing. All right, they're going for it.
Now trying to take him as quickly as
Cookies?
possible.
Kisses?
Go, Baby. Gotta be careful. Moving in. The big steal. How many come out? Oh, a couple there for Sumail, but they're trying to force the fight. FNG, he's getting roll. Is it going to be enough, though? Thompson down low. The kisses afterwards. A good chunk of damage on Overlord there from No Tail. Does so much damage. Gives him Oh, let it be so and let it be said. OG just absolutely wrecking another huge win. Dude, how much damage did that Earth Splitter do?
That was so nasty. Thompson tossed S4 up top into the Earth Splitter as that went off there, too. That damage has got to be all Earth Splitter.
Oh,
that was 3 heroes just getting cracked in the middle of that thing, and that not really something you look for as the level 1. That was the big damage.
Oh, another round here as Alliance. They need to come up with answers. They didn't lose all the Ancients, but it feels real bad right now as they'll get stomped yet again by No Tail.
It's such a similar situation to the last game.
It is.
Like, they've got this gold lead on OG, and now we have these big item timings that we sort of need right now. And that's going to be a BKB for S4. He's got the blink, right? He can farm his way there with kills to bring the rest of his team back into this game. And here's that replay. You can see Nico Baby actually, he does all right. He gets a little bit of gold from this, but so many of them get stolen.
It's true. And devastating play as the roll came out, and then, of course, as you were talking
Look
about,
at that toss
in just hits on everybody.
And it makes Seb so fast, right?
Yes.
You're getting a max HP percent minus off for a Bloodseeker.
True. There was a relocate gank that we missed while it was happening.
That's
Thompson
okay.
ended up getting brought down. So certainly not the end of the world.
He got relocated and stunned, and they right-clicked him, and he died.
Yes.
There's the recap, guys. I got it.
Nailed it. Atos down. Once again, in some trouble. S4 backing away as well. Looks like they're going to be fine. So
I like this, the triple crown build. This is how you win 3 TIs, all right? So he's sending a message with his item build.
Ooh.
The triple crown, Atos into Veil.
That's good.
Like,
that's good.
That's genius.
Dude.
Seb's on a whole other level, all right?
He's
this guy
BMing with his
operates
items
yeah,
now.
Like he says we've done taunts, we've done sprays. Has anyone done items? You guys drop your items. I'm just gonna buy them thematically.
Oh, that's so good.
God, his brain's so huge.
He needs to buy
and all that with
intelligence.
just one eye.
That's the way
How
to
does
do
he
it.
do it?
I don't know. That's the pirate man indeed. It's a pirate life for me.
Avast. Do you think we should just approach him with pirate terms if we see him?
No, I don't think he'd like that.
I think he's laughing.
I don't
he
think we
it.
should approach him. Because
Also
he's going
that.
to kill us probably.
That's
Everybody
true.
that shows up
You'll
in
look
front
like
of him
that.
dies.
Yeah, they get Atos, they get silenced, and away they go.
12 to 14, 16 minutes in, and a 5,000 gold lead. And Alliance, again, you know, nothing's impossible. Teams make mistakes. It can happen. But right now, Sumail is 4,000 net worth ahead of the next highest in the game. And guess what? That's also his teammate.
Oh, and Sox's cookies have been so good. He makes this look broken. Like, this isn't a hero that I would say is widely considered to be, like, mega strong or anything at the moment, right? Like, she's had her times in the meta and everything. But so many of these cookie plays in the early game were just absolutely stellar.
Well, and it's interesting, too, because, you know, just taking that one value point Little Shredder, getting that Solar Crest afterwards, this could be good, though. Can they bring them down? Sonic Wave connects onto both. The relocate coming forward, wanting to find the finish. Will they be able to bring down Sumail? This is the kill that they need. They take down the Snapfire, but also get the Clinks. That is exactly what they need. Earth Splitter off the mark. OG have to be careful.
Chase. Yeah, there's a big temptation for Alliance right now because they know that everything's been spent from OG, right?
Yo, that was huge. That was everything that they needed and a little bit more. It's now a 3,000 gold lead, and I mean, you don't have. This is all the net worth already
so
gone.
Greedy, dude.
Thompson is crazy and gonna pay the price for it. OG again, a little bit too big for your britches here.
He was thinking like, if I see them though, I can blink away. I'll be fine. He was almost right, but gets a bit of a bad blink there. Picked off there, and that lead is just getting absolutely sliced, and I love this. No cooldown Dota, no Echo Slam to worry about. They just instantly smoke. They want someone else. They're trying to catch OG when they're a little bit like tilted, not necessarily mentally, but more like, oh, we don't have quite all of our tools available, and they got him right on that bounty room.
Knew where he was going to be.
Counterplay?
Finds the finish. Sumail thought about running in there, has the cookie, has the Mortimer's Kisses even.
They want someone other than FNG. FNG looks a little bit free, I think, and well, in the end, that might mean they don't even get him.
Oh,
no, he's dead.
Okay, Atos done. Yeah. Give him the whip.
He was a no matter what dead. They were kind of hoping for like the and one kill.
Right. And that ends up being a little bit weird too, right? Like trading support for support, but I guess again, if you're trading and you're behind, it's going to be beneficial. In Alliance, this is all time for Nico Baby to farm and start to try and catch up to Clinks. Like this early acceleration, this like rapid growth that you see, and Clinks gain where he needs to be is good, but if Gyrocopter starts to catch up, that's a problem. This hero is dangerous.
takes so long, though. I mean, he isn't getting there. And obviously, it's massive when you do get the eggs, but right now he's in trouble. He has to be relocated out, which means, of course, that it's a sacrifice, but it's one that Hanskin's willing to make.
Yes.
Definitely don't bring him back with you, though.
Didn't even go all the way back to
Hanskin?
base.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was getting a little bit worried there.
You know, make a joke saying, I'll bring you back.
I'll do it.
Don't think I won't. You better buy that BKB. They've got it done now. So yeah, going in towards that Aghanim Scepter next, and S4. Again, this was the big timing that they were looking for last game, was all those BKBs from Alliance that they just never got the chance to get. Now the question is, can OG put the screws to them? Can they try and like close down the map a little bit?
Yep.
They don't have the same access to Roche that they did have last game. And like, or rather, they didn't get the early Roche that they got last time game, and so, you know, it's getting a little bit dicey here.
Yeah, there are definitely some issues once again with like spell immunity and everything, though. Like this idea of just like how valuable is the BKB, right? You know, OG have some tools that can still punish you, especially they can just like potentially leave the fight, right? They want to just like rough you and run away. Seems like they definitely have ideas about itemization in mind to their heroes.
5-man smoke. Sumail gonna run forward, has the DD. Reveal here. Ah, yeah, they see him. And Stomp's going to come out. Has the Atos connecting. And dead FNG. But that's position 5.
Thompson's hunting.
Looks like rest of Alliance should get out. S4 and Limp. Again, there's a relocate potential here if they find the wrong heroes. And now they're going to go into Roche. Oh, this is nice from OG if they can get this.
Solar Crest. There's so much minus armor right here.
Yes.
This thing is just gone.
S4. Do you dare? I don't think so.
I would hope not.
It'd be cool, though, to see a big play.
Limp lurking nearby.
Oh, this could be a kill, maybe. Relocate on top? What do you think?
Yeah, with the obs being there, it looks very tempting. Almost looks like Sox is kind of big. I think Limp is wondering where the rest of OG is.
Right. That makes sense.
Doesn't want to risk it. Obviously, that's what happened last time, is that they were starting to make the comeback. They made a couple bad attempts on pickoffs that weren't really safe, and they lost both of them and kind of lost their momentum back into the game. Speaking of momentum, that's very good. Gold-wise, get some more stacks back into our gyrocopter here on the side of Alliance. They're going to feel good about that.
After that warm-up game, it feels like Limp is definitely on the right track this time. 5, 2, and 6. Had a much better early game, and then has transitioned that into snowballing for some kills. Potential here. Soxa spots him, but they jump right away. Sumail got vision on him. No Tail tries to go for the stomp, but the BKB is out. Now seeing if they can bring down No Tail, but the turnaround, Sonic Wave, they kill off Soxa. Roll through, FNG in some trouble, tries to live. Hanskin keeping him alive, has the relocate away in a second and gets him out. Man. Blink away from S4, so the Atos not going to connect. OG.
Wow, that was nice.
Man, close, 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 but it is going to be pressure onto this tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Hanskin using the Holy Locket charges, though, just to actually get the save there when FG had to jump through with that Rupture being on top.
Definitely not out of it. And in the last couple of minutes, you can see the efficiency of farming from Alliance. It's brought it down to less than 1,000 gold, separating these two teams. But it is a tier 2 tower taken, and now the outpost. And with the Aegis in hand, OG, they're the ones that are still in the driver's seat, as we do have a pause.
Shame.
Some issues here. The shame from No Tail. Always a shame when a pause comes out.
It looks like we have a shard there as well for Sumail.
Oh, very interesting. And it does look like, at least for the moment now, it's going to be a pause. We'll have to see what ends up happening.
We could do a camera and get rid of the predictions. That's what I was thinking.
A camera?
Like, come to us, and then we could do the...
Oh, yeah.
If you want to get rid of the thing, or if we have like a wait screen, we get rid of the predictions on the side for everyone.
We're going to have our producer help us out here for a second. Oh, you're so wonderful.
Well, okay. Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
There's so much behind the scenes stuff that's happening that we just love to have happen.
It's okay. Yep. Go for it. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
One light's good.
I just need to make sure that I get the proper input in there, because we want to make sure the predictions are good. We'll let you know.
This is TI after dark. All right, guys. We only have one of the two lights on. All right, you're getting a special look behind the scenes here.
Exactly.
Now, what you guys don't know is that when we're not on camera, there's actually a monitor right here. I'm telling you guys all the secrets. Okay, you came to the right spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we totally fixed this issue. So when the camera goes away, I have someone who runs over here and puts a monitor back on top of the table. That's the lengths we go for you guys to have the best broadcast possible.
The best ones that you
like
can
Lyrical,
possibly have.
Trying to remember as hard as he can what the console command is right now. He's just going through. He's just like, what is it? Prediction.
It
hide.
won't let me do it.
It won't let me do it.
Because you have to have done it at the start of the game. Otherwise, it stays there forever. So
really,
I think we're going to go back into the game
Okay,
now.
we can go back into the game now. And this was a pointless exercise where I made our producer work for
job.
nothing.
You did a good job. Oh, man. What a time. What a time to be alive.
Just know I did it for you, everyone.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that you did it just to make life harder.
I just wanted to see my face a little bit more. That's all.
That's true, too.
I'm very vain. Why do you think I keep having so many children?
Is that vanity?
Yeah, I think so. That makes it.
It's like the world could use more of me.
Exactly. And how can I achieve that? I mean, it's not quite. It's only half of me. Like,
right.
Yawn. But anyway.
We're going down a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down.
Okay,
here.
how about back into this beautiful game of Dota? Because this one's really tight. This is a very hyped game. And what do we have left? Right now, we have 3 minutes of an Aegis left on Sumail. They just claimed that top tower. That feels very good. What would you like to do right now with 3 minutes of Aegis? Probably cement your vision and take the tier 2 mid would be a good goal, I would say, as OG. That sound about right? Make sure that your next Roche is going to be really easy.
That seems reasonable.
Play the top side of the map. Keep control of Roche. Those are good goals. You know what I'd love to see? I'll tell you. I'd like to see a gem from OG. Because I think they're doing great. But the main problem, the way you lose these games, is when the enemy gets some very good vision. And look what Alliance have done. This vision around the triangle is actually very nice from Alliance. We saw the attempts on the relocates, right? These are predicated off of having deep vision.
Yes.
So you get a gem, you eliminate these opportunities that they try and go for with the IO plays.
I guess the other thing to think about with this one, too, is like where you want to go with like, do you need to think about forcing high ground? Do you feel like you sort of win the late game scenario regardless? And that's going to be something of like how quickly do OG want to try and keep this pressure on and all that good stuff. But it does look like they are ready to get back into this game and just waiting for the AOK. Sumail says yes. And we are good to go. Again, the grudge match continuing. And in these instances, you know, the difference between going 0-2 and going 1-1 is huge in the group stages for both teams. Like, going 0-2 means it's pretty freaking hard to get into the upper bracket, I feel like. And 1-1, you can still keep those dreams alive, obviously. I think even with 0-2 you can, but it's pretty unlikely. And likewise, if you go 2-0 at the starter groups,
feeling good.
Easy peasy.
That's where you want to be. That's it. That's all you had to do.
Just keep doing it.
Just win. You know, that's always the easy advice.
If you win, then you win TI. Sumail.
Chase down. I mean, he's fearless right now. Like, if you can't get a good objective, forcing a bad fight is always a good goal with an Aegis, right?
Oh, wait, did I cancel it? Oh, he didn't have TP. Oh, he's in trouble. TP out, relocate. That was weird.
Easy.
He wanted to make sure that they got Nico out of there. So Hanskin will die. And looks like they also managed to TP out with the Queen of Pain. So Io, gonna pay the price. Ends up being brought down in the end by the big bad Clinks. Think we're gonna see this hero banned a couple times?
Yes, versus OG. After these two games, 100%. Win or lose this game, it still looks crazy the way that they're playing it, right? It just seems to be like the perfect carry right now.
FNG.
I love that he can clear the camps without needing to stack, but he can still farm stacks.
Yes.
So like you can see that he's utilizing this this loss on the 15% by just like clearing the camp sometimes at the minute mark. But if a support's going by, they can still stack it up for you, and it's really easy to farm.
Who did? Ruptured. Gonna BKB, try and TP out, and that's for will make the escape. But you can see OG putting the screws right now to Alliance, closing out the areas. Right now, Alliance don't feel like they can fight, particularly with the Aegis almost going to be reclaimed in a minute and a half. So how much extra damage can they get in on OG before that Aegis expires?
You know, that's an interesting thought, too, is that now they can actually see that, right? Like, we know that they have the timing these days.
Oh, Nico baby. Get healed up afterwards. BKB comes out. And then the back away. Oh, Sumail almost able to connect there. S4 going to throw out the Corrosive Haze. In the meantime, Limp just continuing to farm, trying to get in towards that AC, but it's another tier 2 tower down. And that's all of them across the map done.
That's goals. You know, you can be completely happy with this Aegis. And they have time. They have a full minute.
This is OG though. I don't know if they're ever completely happy unless they're in your base. And That's one kill inside of it.
All right, don't look. Let's guess FNG's deaths. I haven't looked.
6.
I was gonna go 7.
Okay.
All right, what do we got?
9. All right. That's his lot in life right now. But look at this. OG just going up high ground. I mean, again, this is 30 seconds until Aegis is going to be reclaimed, but they're getting in every little bit of action that they can in the meantime.
And we talked about the minus armor. Look at the plus armor they're just throwing on top of them, right?
Yeah.
Keep them nice. I love the solar and medallion. It's so cheesy looking.
It is. It's super valuable, and when you've got a Slardar in the game, it's what you need.
They got the Daedalus courier.
That's important.
That's awesome. All right. I guess he wasn't that close next to it. I mean, I guess 800 gold's not that far for Sumail, though, to be fair at this point, with the speed at which he's farming.
This game is looking very hard for Alliance, but you can see that there's some avenues here, some ways that they can get back into it if they can get those items online. And Nico Baby has the Aghanim Scepter done.
I think the Shard on S4 is a really cool tool, because one of the problems is that you're seeing he has to initiate on Sumail in some of these circumstances, and he's always going for the Corrosive Haze and then crushing. Because if he doesn't have his bash prep, that's kind of his only choice, right? Because he doesn't want to just get away with invis or like have to worry about it after, and obviously they need the damage at this point because he's so tanky. So you get the Shard, and that way you get the guaranteed ultimate on top of him right away.
It would be really nice if we could see Alliance try and go for a play before Sumail's courier comes back. Like, he's, what, 5,000 gold up right now?
They actually just scanned the Dire Triangle, and it was green.
Okay.
But Alliance are in there right now, so this could go a little poorly for OG.
Whoa.
S4, wait, team?
Thompson?
So alone right now. What?
He is mega in there. Just
they're trying to relocate, but it's too slow.
And like that, Limp, he's going to get Ava tossed and killed, and this was the fight that they had waited so long for. And it's just not going to happen for him. I mean, they're going to relocate out of here. Don't even get the kill onto Saksa. Oh, man, that was just a little bit of miscommunications happening.
Limp just got slept. He got slept into Avatos, and he just died.
Oh, man.
No BKB. That's the disaster mode right there.
S4 was in, and it was just not in the place that he needed to be for that fight. They had just finished this Aghanim
Here's
Scepter
the thing,
too.
they had that ward, right, in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah.
And they were all smoked. So good thing OG didn't buy that gem and de-ward that, or Alliance wouldn't have felt safe trying to make that play.
Oof.
Another reason I'm here.
Wow, 10,000 gold. And again, it's like these moments where you sort of build up this anticipation of something that could end up happening. Finally a fight where it goes well for Alliance, and then
look at that.
Just falls through their fingers.
The Aghanim's on Seb too.
They're getting all the items now.
He's had a fantastic game.
He really has.
You know, he's been extremely high in the net worth through the majority of this game. Only recently has Thompson actually had a chance to like kind of make his own way back up there, because Seb's sort of been like less involved on the farming side, not as present like in the lanes. Whereas like Thompson gets up to the Echo Saber, now into the full-on Aghanims too. I love Tree Volley.
I don't know if that was a double smoke or not, but regardless, the smoke, they don't have S4 in it. I don't know what happened right there. Now Sumail comes out, finds Limp. It feels like it's falling apart. Can they blow up Sumail? BKB, run away. The tree volley goes out immediately. They have to freaking TP out of there. Hanskin's going to be controlled. They take down S4. Now seeing if they can find the kill on the IO. The missile is going to chase down out of there. They managed to get out on the IO at the last second, but just nothing going the way that it needs to be right now for Alliance. And OG looking clean as can be.
Look at Sumail. He just stands so far back and lobbing this into the towers.
What an interesting spray to drop down there is, oh man. OG looking for the tier 4 towers now, what, 15 seconds away from everybody being back alive on Alliance? It feels like they haven't even gotten the a fight. They know that there's no BKB available on Nico Baby. He just has to sit there and take it, relocate back. Limp gonna get Ava tossed, gets the blink away, but the towers are falling. OG throwing the tree volley into the fountain. Where's the answer? Alliance don't have it.
They're not done though. They want to keep fighting. They're smoking out. They see an attempt here.
Oh God, is it gonna work though? I mean, they just blink away. Alliance. Nowhere left to go.
The
tree
for
volley,
BKB.
he's died. Oh, he just drops. No BKB available. literally Murphy's Law of Dota happening right now for Alliance and OG. Are they going to be able to back out of there? Nico Baby trying to chase in. Can they take a good fight finally? Soxa down low tries to pull them out further. But Alliance, have they done enough? Can they do enough? The right clicks come through. Sumail blows him up. Nico Baby down low. They break the tether. It didn't work. Thompson was able to jump in and snag him. Oh, what a play coming from Thompson at the last second. As they chase in, looking for more. Seb continuing to find him. They only lose one in that Snapfire. The mass tips come out as there's still some salt in the veins from earlier in the season. OG looking to end this one emphatically.
There were some moments there where they were close in that team fight, but Thompson just absolutely shredded any hope that they had at the end there with the big plays. And now the chase down continues. This kind of looks like a little bit of a beatdown at this point. They're still going to buy back on Nico Baby. Again, not going to give up. They have the heroes with some potential, of course, right? You know, you never know what can happen with the gyrocopter. You have the IO. Some Rapier Dota, perhaps, a little bit on here. But I'm a little surprised that they're still playing this out. I'm not going to lie.
There's not a 0 at the end of that number down there.
No, it could be a while until there's a Rapier, for sure.
True.
But Alliance clearly saying we want to play to that. We're not going to give up yet. Even almost looking like they want to smoke here.
OG are going to be the ones that's smoking. Ready to head on in. Or head back towards the Roche, because in all that fight, I mean, so there is a Roche available.
Yeah, they're going.
Alliance. Smoke breaks, right. S4, good crush, onto 2, and ruptured, and in trouble. Cookie tries to back away, S4 is dead again. He has been on the struggle, and now the chase forward, slept. Another round of the Earth Splitter comes through, trying to roll out, do what they can. FNG, there's one shot coming out from the Clinks, hits the roll on to Seb, but nothing else left in the tank, as it has just not worked Alliance's way in this game number 2. OG, the last couple of minutes, it's just fallen off a cliff or risen up a mountain. As OG turn their sights back onto the Ancient now. It's going to be a long day of Dota.
Yeah, they want to hurry it up.
Yeah, they're feeling ready. As the Ancient is getting ready to fall, Alliance still not willing to back out of this game. Want to give it one last go. As Nico Baby runs in, Sonic Wave afterwards, dies to the right clicks. Nico Baby in trouble. He too will fall. And there's some GGs happening eventually in the end. As OG gonna end this one 2-0. Very, very solid performance.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful stuff here from OG in both games. A very clear strategy and frankly, not necessarily a very complicated one. They just play very good Dota, right?
Well, what else can we say about this one? Just looking through some of these stats, the graph, I mean, it always kind of felt like, I mean, there was moments where the game was getting played and there was like a battle happening, right? But by and large, like once you got to those couple of big fights, and specifically that, like once they got Roche, it just felt like the game was so impossibly hard for Alliance. I feel like Limp played a much better game though. I think that he was kind of a standout for a while there.
I would say he did. I think that, unfortunately, a lot of the same problems seem to persist. I'm like looking at the lineup from last game. Isn't this the exact same issue? We have supports with, sure, there is Pango ulti, relatively weak stun. And then you have Io, who, has different, obviously Io's still a very strong support, with the stun or not. But it felt like S4 kind of got put on an island again.
Yeah.
I thought this would be like more like, oh, we're playing together and we're doing stuff, but it felt like their idea of like, oh, the slider jumps in and we relocate, that's not realistic with like the timing it takes and how much burst damage there is on OG. Like he quite literally would blink stun 2 heroes and he would die before there was any follow-up.
Yeah, it was rough. And maybe you could think like, okay, Limp could be there ready to fight as well, but it was a very tough game overall, and I think OG came in with a great answer to it. Sumail Clinks, go ban that thing, people.
Yeah, that is clearly they have a way for them to enable Sumail in this early game, and it's very frightening. I think Thompson is playing so well. He's reminding me of like super major time mid one, right? Like back on Secret where he was just all around the map, like Aeon Disc, Ember. That's how Thompson is, right? Like his net worth is in the middle of the chart. He is not anywhere near the top, but he's just making action happen all over the map and targeting those heroes where he doesn't want those other cores to catch up to Seb and to Sumail. He wants them up there. He wants to pull them back down in the dirt with himself. He's like, I will be poor and you will be poor too. And it's going to be very interesting to see if this is a strategy that they continue with a lot of the time or what else they have in their little bag of tools.
Well, that's going to do it here for our first series of the day. Again, it was a good one. OG versus Alliance. Play styles being defined, games being completed, Cap
Balls
doing
being
high
dunked.
kicks over there. It was great. Yeah, balls being done. Very well done.
Mhm.
But for now, we're going to a quick break, and we'll see you all on the other side.